What's up, guys? My name is Jerry, and today's video is going to be on the Orlando Magic, and we're going to be talking about how this team can create a very scary defensive tandem, and we're going to jump right into the video. Now, the Orlando Magic are in prime position to make their organization a lot better. They scored the #1 pick in this year's NBA draft, and when I look at their roster and I look at their team, I notice that they have a gem sitting on the shelf, and that gem is none other than Jonathan Isaac. And Jonathan Isaac, his basketball career so far as an NBA fan, has been very disappointing, and it's not really his fault. He's been sidelined with a really gruesome ACL injury that's kept him out for essentially 2 years, and we just haven't seen as much of Jonathan Isaac as we would like to. But if I'm any type of employee within the Orlando Magic organization, if I'm a coach, a trainer, the GM, the owner, I at least have to consider the idea of comparing a healthy Jonathan Isaac with a guy like Jabari Smith. I think these guys will have the potential to be one of the scariest defensive duos in all of the NBA, and I think they will cause a lot of problems for every NBA team. And when it comes to Jonathan Isaac right now, it's a very tricky situation for the Orlando Magic, or I should say it's a risky situation. Like I said, he's missed essentially 2 years of basketball, and the Orlando Magic haven't really been getting anything out of him. So it's normal for them to consider trading Jonathan Isaac, and at his current age, he's only 24, so he still has some value to him, and the Orlando Magic could probably work out a nice deal for him. So I think it comes down to the Orlando Magic. Do they want to continue to be patient with Jonathan Isaac, or do they want to move on to the next thing? And with Jonathan Isaac, a lot of people forget how good he actually is coming into the NBA. I think he had a lot of upside, and I think he was starting to come into his own. And my favorite part about Jonathan Isaac's game is his defensive prowess, and I think he was going to be a very, very rare and unique defender in this league because he was 6'11" with a 7'1" wingspan, and he could literally cover the entire floor. He was an elite shot blocker. He could come from anywhere, get blocks from behind, from in front, half court blocks, fast break blocks. He was just pretty solid. I would say elite at rim protection, but that's not where it stops. And I think what makes him so elite is that he can guard all types of player in all types of different situations in the NBA. He can pick a point guard up 94 feet and make them work to get up the court. He can guard the pick and roll. He can guard the pick and roll, guarding the ball or guarding the screener. And then he can stop a guy and stay in front of guys when they're isoing. So he was a really, really unique defender. And then he had some offensive upside to him too. Coming into the league, he could hit spot up threes. He could put the ball on the floor and get to the rim. He could create his shot at times. He wasn't an elite shot creator, but it was something that he could have developed that took his game to the next level. So Jonathan Isaac, we haven't seen him play basketball in so long, and people forget the potential that he has. So when I'm looking at all that, all the versatility that Jonathan Isaac brings, 6'11", but he plays like he's 6'5". So him being that tall and that long allows them to play a small ball lineup, and allows the Orlando Magic to be a lot more versatile. And then you put a guy like Jabari Smith alongside him, and I think these two guys, I think they could play the 3 and the 4, or they can play the 4 and the 5. I think they can both play that power forward, small forward, and center position. But when I look at Jabari Smith, he might not be the rim protector that Jonathan Isaac is, but he's also a very, very tenacious defender. And him too, just like Jonathan Isaac, he can cover multiple players on the floor. He can guard the point guard position. He can guard both sides of the pick and roll. He can guard isolation scorers. He can guard bigs. So when you could just imagine both of those guys on the front line or in the front court, and you have to figure out how your best two players is going to score on those two guys, it's going to be really tough for NBA teams. But it's just like Jonathan Isaac, it just doesn't stop on the defensive side for Jabari Smith. I think he has a lot of offensive upside to him as well, and him coming into the league, I think right off the bat, he's going to be a very solid 3-and-D player. He's going to hit his open threes, and he's going to play hard on the defensive side of the ball. And then also, what made Jabari Smith so unique in college is his abilities to hit the type of three-point shots that he hit. And he don't hit normal threes for his size. Watching his games and watching his highlights at Auburn, you can see that he comes off screens a lot. He comes off screens and pin downs, and it's really rare for a guy to be able to come down come off a pin down the way that Jabari Parker does and hit a three. The size that he is, standing at 6'10", and the quickness that he catches and shoots, and how fast he catches, turns, and shoots the ball is really rare for a guy his size. And then also he can put the ball on the floor, and if he's really feeling it and he gets into a rhythm, he can put together a string of dribble moves, and he can get to that mid range, or he can get to the rim. And he's got his comparisons, that the guys that he's getting compared to with guys like Paul George, Kevin Durant, taller, longer players in this league that can create for themselves and score at a very high level. So I feel like putting these two guys together, at the least defensively, they're going to be a problem in this league, and they're going to be a very scary duo. And then if Jonathan Isaac can come back and recover his athleticism, I think he has the opportunity to do that. He's only 24 years of age. I think they could be a scarier complete duo, but it would be a very risky thing for the Orlando Magic. Like, it's the ACL injury. It's been 2 years. I can hope that Jonathan Isaac is getting near recovery, because he has so much potential and so much upside to him. I really just want to see how the rest of his career will pan out, and that's not where it will stop with the Orlando Magic. They will have two very solid players in their front court, and Jabari Smith and Jonathan Isaac if he comes back healthy. And then they have some pretty elite scorers on their team, or guys that have potential to become elite scorers. I really like Cole Anthony game. He's already a 3-level scorer in his league, and he's shown that he can go off at any given moment. He has the 3-ball to his game. He can run the pick and roll. He has the mid-range, and he can finish around the rim. And then you have Franz Wagner, and I really like this game. One of the more polished rookies in the NBA. He was really good at getting to the basket, and what I like about his game is that he plays at his own pace, and he never really seems to be sped up by the defense, and he takes a lot of effective moves. We see him take 3-2 dribbles, and he's able to get to the rim or get to his spot, and then he can shoot the 3-ball. So the Orlando Magic, they could have something really special brewing here. And then I'm not going to give up on Jalen Suggs either. I know he didn't have the rookie season you would like to see from, what did Jalen Suggs go last year? Was he I think you would believe he was a top 5 or top six pick. I can't remember off my head. I want to say he was number 4. He didn't have the season you would want to see from a number 4 pick, but I'm not going to call him a bust just yet. I like his ability to play make and get downhill and get to the rim. And the Orlando Magic, like I said, I think Jabari Smith, I think he's going to be the number 1 pick regardless. I think he should be, because right now I think he's going to come into the league and be able to make teams a lot better. And then his upside is tremendous if he can continue to develop his game in the right way. But that's just something that I was fantasizing about, and it's kind of a scary thought. If Jonathan Isaac can come back healthy and you pair him alongside Jabari Smith, it's going to be a nightmare for opposing NBA teams. But that's going to be it for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Comment down below what you think about this idea, and then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man. And that's curtains.